Have you ever lost a loved one and then got a sign they aren't really gone? Welcome to Psychomanteum. I'm Karin Shah. Today we glance behind the mirror with 2 true stories of the paranormal. Now, gather round, everyone. Today's true story happened in 2017. Our submitter, we'll call her Abby, had one of the hardest experiences anyone can have. She lost her little brother. We'll call him Aiden. Abby and Aiden were long grown up and had been living far apart. Abby in Florida and her brother in Washington State. Though they were far apart in distance, Abby and her brother were still close. Aiden had 2 grown children and 1 little one still in grade school. The news of Aiden's death hit Abby like a blow. He had been ill, but still his sudden death at such a young age left everyone in the family shocked and stunned. Abby quickly arranged a flight, but it still took 2 days for her to arrive at his home in Camas to be with his family. She arrived late that night and immediately fell into bed. The next day, Abby went into the kitchen to make coffee in their Keurig, something she had done many times. To her dismay, the Keurig wouldn't start. She investigated and found the problem was a lack of power to the outlet, not just in the one the Keurig was plugged into, but several others in the kitchen. She pressed the reset in the outlet and even went to the electrical box to look for a trip breaker, but found nothing. While Abby was doing this, Aiden's wife, we'll call her Amy, came into the kitchen. She too began checking the outlets and the electrical box and was unable to find the cause of the electrical problem. Nothing they did could get the power on in the kitchen, even though the power in the rest of the house worked just fine. There weren't even any storms in the area to explain the power loss. After FaceTiming with Amy's dad in Florida, they decided they would need to call an electrician. For Amy, who had just lost her husband, this was the last straw. Frustrated, she yelled out loud, "I just can't take this anymore," and rushed over to the outlet and pushed the reset for maybe the 4th time. To everyone's surprise, the electricity started working. Later, the family gathered in a bedroom, talking, when the power went out in that room, and they discovered that, as before, the power was on everywhere else. Abby went down to the electrical box. Finding a trip breaker, she flipped it, fixing the problem. Sometime later, Aiden's young daughter was alone in her room, and the power went out in that room as well. Another tripped breaker. Everyone in the family, already grieving, felt their nerves fraying. What was the cause of these mysterious outages? That evening, Abby went down to the basement to get the dog food stored down there and discovered the light on over her brother's desk. She was stunned. A few minutes earlier, she had walked past the walkout basement windows, and the whole basement had been dark. Feeling Aiden's presence around her, Abby switched off the lamp and cried, certain that although her brother might no longer be alive, he had never truly left them. The next story is a true event that happened to me many years ago. It's the only possibly paranormal thing that has ever happened to me, even though I currently live in a 135-year-old house. But our steam heat is so noisy, ghosts could bang on the walls all night and we wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I was 16 when this happened. The event is seared in my memory. Let me set the stage a little. The house I grew up in is set back from the road maybe 50 is a pretty standard tract home colonial with a center entrance and stairs in the foyer. There was a dining room on the left when you come in and a living room on the right. In the back of the house, the kitchen and family room are connected, with the kitchen being behind the dining room. A pony wall with spindles at the top separated the kitchen and the family room. A sliding glass door in the kitchen led to the back deck. It was summer and I was home alone. I was in the family room, sitting on the part of the couch closest to the kitchen, studying for the driver's license exam, when all of a sudden the power went out. Now, where I grew up, the sun doesn't set until almost 9:30 in the height of summer, so it doesn't get completely dark until around 10. Still, it was late enough that evening that when the power first went off, there was enough light to see, but in the few minutes it took me to go to get the candles we kept in the dining room, it was pitch black in the house. I managed to get the candles onto the island we used as our kitchen table and light them all in the dark. With the light from the candles spilling past the pony wall, I relaxed and tried to go back to my studying. But I was bored by this point and decided to get out my Time Life books. I had a series, I think it was called The Enchanted World, that I had received not too long before, and the one I had out was about ghosts. Probably not a good choice for being alone in the dark, but it must have been the one I hadn't read yet. Anyway, I started flipping through the book by candlelight, but with the AC off, it started to get hot in the house. So I got up, walked into the kitchen, and opened the sliding glass door, leaving only the screen. With a coolish breeze coming in, I went back to my book. I had been engrossed in the book for several minutes when all of a sudden a loud dragging sound came from the kitchen. It sounded like someone was dragging a box or something along the hardwood floor, not 3 feet from where I sat, closer to me than to the kitchen island. I froze in fear, my heart jumping. I was practically sitting in the kitchen. All I had to do to see inside was turn my head. The pony wall blocked a small section in front of the sliding glass door from view, but still I knew no one was there to make that noise. When nothing happened for several long minutes, I got myself together, went into the kitchen and looked around, trying to figure out what had made that sound, but found nothing. Finally, I figured the noise must have come from animals outside under the deck. Hot or not, I decided to close the sliding glass door. That settled, I returned to reading, quickly immersed into the stories in my book, until the sound came again. I vividly remember how terrified I was, my hands clutching the edges of my book, my heart racing. This time I didn't have the open sliding glass door to explain it away, and as soon as I tore free of my shock, I took off, running out the front door and all the way to the front curb. Not daring to leave the house entirely with the candles lit on the butcher block island, and afraid to go back in and blow them out, I waited there, sitting on the curb until my parents finally came home. The power came on soon after that. Many years have passed since then. I never heard that sound again, and I've never figured out what made it. My mother lives in that house to this day, and she has never had anything scary happen to her there. I don't even know if what happened was paranormal, but I know one thing. I never want anything like that to happen to me again. Thanks for listening. Please drop us a like and subscribe, In the following days, look for more stories, both true and fictional, and explorations of all things creepy and unexplained. If you have a story to share, drop an email to the address in the description. Until next time, think twice before you look behind you in the mirror. There may be something on the other side.